Hi. Today we have a pen that I would categorize as a special pen. This is a bit different. This pen is the Lotus Vamza, V-A-M-Z-A Vamza, which I believe is the Sanskrit word for bamboo. And as you can see, this pen is made very much to look like a stick of bamboo. This pen is somewhat of an international effort. The pen itself is handmade in India by Lotus Pens. They use ebonite from Japan. The pen is all ebonite. And the nib is a German-made Jowo nib, so it's sort of an international effort. The pens are handmade. They're made to order. The normal pen that they sell, the normal sort of stock version of this, if you will, it looks just like this. It's a clipless pen. I really need clips on my pens for them to be useful for me, so I had them add a customization, which is adding the clip, and they did it flawlessly. The clip integrates beautifully. It works great. Great clip. The material itself is just stunning in my opinion. Absolutely gorgeous. Rubbed, polished bamboo with this wood grain effect. It looks just absolutely spectacular. To keep the bamboo theme going, they have these recessed ends to make it look like an actual stick of bamboo. As a result of that, the pen does not post. It's one of the few pens I have that don't post. Normally, I'm not a fan of pens that don't post, but I make an exception here because this is just such a spectacular pen. You probably wouldn't want it to post anyway. It's a pretty long pen. Let's take a look at the length. We'll compare it to some other pens. So here it is compared to a Lamy Safari and a Pilot Metropolitan. And as you can see, these are not short pens. And as you can see, it's decently longer than either of these. It is a light pen, however. Ebonite is not a heavy material. This pen only weighs, all set with ink and converter, 26 grams. So it's a fairly light pen. It has this very nice clip with the Lotus logo on it, like I said. And as you can see, the material is just, it's just a beautiful material. It takes 2 full turns to open the pen, and there you can see our number 6 Jowo nib. The nib, it's a nice two-toned nib. This is a broad nib. They make it available in a few different nib styles, but like I said, you could replace. It's a standard Jowo number 6 nib, so you could replace it yourself if you like. The nib is got a little bit of scroll work on it, an ordinary round breather hole, otherwise plain in the middle with just a little B for broad at the bottom. It would have been nice to see the Lotus Pens logo on there. The Lotus Pens logo is a nice looking logo. That would have been nice, but a minor quibble point. The section has this little step down over here, nothing to really complain about, and a bit of threads, and it's a nice long section. It fits very comfortably in the hand and writes very well. And you can see it's a pretty long pen. You don't need to post it, and other than losing the cap, that's the only concern about this pen not posting. But otherwise, it's just a great pen. The filling mechanism is a standard international filling mechanism. They provide a standard Schmidt converter. Don't quote me on this, but I believe you could eyedropper this pen. I don't see any reason off the top of my head why you could not eyedropper it. I have no intention of eyedroppering it, but you probably could. I would contact the manufacturer if you are interested in eyedropping this pen for confirmation one way or the other, but there's no metal parts that I can see, and no holes or anything like that. So you may very well be able to eyedropper it. If anybody has any experience one way or the other eyedroppering it, I'd be interested in hearing it. Well, that is probably all you need to see without it writing. So, let's see how this fellow writes right now. Okay, what we're writing with here is a Lotus Vamza. And this is a broad Jowo nib. It writes quite nice. These Jowo nibs are generally write very well. The nice thing is you could interchange this. They make a wide variety of nibs, so if you get tired of this nib, it's easily replaceable. It writes very, very smooth, extremely smooth. No flex though. This is a stiff nib, so that's about what I'm doing here is about all the line variation you're going to get from this. But it is a nice, wet, broad, nicely flowing nib that writes very well. And like I said, this pen fits very, very well in the hand. The section is comfortable. The threads here and this step down are unobtrusive. It writes and is very, very, very comfortable. It's a light pen though, like I said, because ebonite is a light material. So if you want like sort of feel the weight of a heavy pen, this is not going to do that for you. This ink is really a great ink. So let's talk about this ink for a minute. This ink is Akkerman SBRE Brown. So a bit about this ink. So many of you might know Stephen Brown, otherwise known as SBRE Brown, has hundreds and hundreds of fountain pen review videos up, and he developed his own custom ink that is a little tough to get if you live in the US. It comes from Akkerman in the Netherlands. There are very few US retailers that sell it, and when they do, it's quite expensive. First, let's talk about the ink itself, and then I'll get to the bottle, because the ink and the bottle are almost as interesting. The ink itself is the first thing I think of is milk chocolate when I think of this. It's a very, very nice brown with a nice amount of shading to it. I think in a broad pen like this, it looks just spectacular. It to me looks like to me this is very much evocative of a milk chocolate, not a dark chocolate, a sort of lighter milk chocolate. That's my best comparison that I can make, and it's just a great ink. Does not feather, dries very nicely, is a well-behaved ink, and like I said, I think if you're going to use this, I think you want to use a pen like a stub or a broader nib that'll really show it off, because it really is just a beautiful ink. But let's talk about the bottle, because the bottle is almost as special as the ink itself. This is the bottle that it comes in. So it kind of looks like a bit like a laboratory flask. And if you're wondering how much ink is in here, it's a lot. It's 120 milliliters of ink. That's a lot of ink. It's not a cheap bottle. It costs $38, but if you think about it, it's 120 milliliters of ink, and you think like the bottles of J. Herbin cost about $12 a piece, $12 or $13 a piece for 30 milliliters, and I paid $38 for this for 120, so it's not that big a deal. From a price differential, it's actually a slightly better deal. But you do get this incredibly cool bottle, and if you're wondering how you fill a pen with this bottle, there's a marble in this upper chamber that can't pass through the pinch in the neck to the lower chamber. You tilt it, it fills up this upper chamber with ink, and you just keep going like that until the ink's done. So it gives you this nice little ideal filling system, and it is just a incredibly cool bottle. All the Akkerman inks, to the best of my knowledge, come in this bottle. I believe they make two sizes of this. They make a 60 mil size and 120 mil size for their general inks. This SBRE Brown, to the best of my knowledge, only comes in this 120 mil size. But it is just a great ink, great bottle, and if you can get some of it, it's not that easy to get if you're in the US. I highly recommend it. So I think that will probably do it for today. If you like this video, please subscribe or leave a comment. If you don't like the video, leave a comment and tell me why. And until next time, bye-bye.